evening, everyone, and welcome to the walk. Today, today will be full of fun and excitement. As you can see, I have two extra partners with me today, and my name is Evangelist Octavia Bryant, and my co-host for tonight is none other than my friend Rotasha Mayweather. Hello. And the other evangelist, Tina Jefferson. Bless Jesus. Pray for y'all.
Can you say the names
Why I gotta
again?
get prayed? Yes. Tonight, that would be sitting in with me. I am Evangelist Octavia Bryant, and we have two co-hosts with us today. First of all, we have Rotasha Mayweather. Hello. And we also have Evangelist Tina Jefferson. First of all, I'd like to say thank y'all for coming and sitting in with me tonight. It is just a privilege to have both of you to sit next to me. I feel like Oprah. Yes. Can I be Gail? Yes. I'm still trying to figure out who the other one is.
I don't make you feel like
Okay, well, I'm
Oprah.
splitting Gail. We're gonna share. I have two Gails, y'all. I got two Gails. Okay.
I don't make you feel like
Gail
Oprah.
one. Yes. Okay, and just for the sake of my co-host that is normally sitting in with me, and she's a little bit under the weather. That is why she's not with us tonight. She's here, but she's not on camera. She's behind the camera. She's behind the camera tonight. So she's yet here with us. Point your hand at you. I need y'all to stretch forth y'all right hand and pray for her. Lord, heal her in the name of Jesus. Right hand. I don't need the left hand. I need covenant. But she wanted to know, do she make me feel like I'm Oprah when she's on here? And yes, she does. So I just want to tell her, thank you.
Everybody makes her Gail one.
I don't feel no
No, because see, she can't be Gail one because Gail don't always be next to Oprah. Okay. Oprah has other kids.
Yeah, man.
So she, Lord mercy. So, so our topic today is going to be biblical romance, and we will be coming from the Song of Solomon today. Last week we talked about how to make love last, and we talked about how to do it through song and through music. And today, not knowing exactly how we were going to flow, um, I heard Song of Solomon, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, we always talk about the Song of Solomon, but do we ever really go in depth of the Song of Solomon? So during my lunch break today, I began to read, and I realized that it's a whole lot of poems. So
It's romance.
it's romance, and it's romantic, and I always think about, because you always hear people say, oh, I want my relationship to be like this, I want my relationship to be like that, I want to model after this, this, and this. But I got to reading the first couple of chapters of Song of Solomon, and I'm like, oh, Lord, yes.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yes. So I'm going to start off just by giving a little history of the Song of Solomon. And it says the Song of Solomon is a moving love story about a young country girl and the King Solomon. That got me right there, y'all. Because it says that it's about a young country girl and the king.
And the king.
And the king. So, regardless of what your background is, just because you're not in the palace with the king doesn't disqualify you from being the king's choice.
Yes.
And then it also said, yeah,
I can still be the king.
you can still be the king. You can still be the queen. You can be the queen. You still be the king. Yes. So it doesn't mean that just because I may live in the country, or I might be from the country, that I might not make it to the palace. I can still make it to the palace. There's still hope. Yes. Because it said Esther did it.
Yes, she did.
Esther wasn't in the palace, when she started out, when she grew up.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, because it said that he pursued her. He went to her country frequently.
Now, who pursued who?
Oh, let me clarify that. King Solomon pursued this woman. And then in the book of Solomon, it never tells her name.
My Lord. She was just in position.
She was just in position. But you know what? You know how we refer to her? The Shulamite woman.
That's what he was talking about?
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Girl, I learned something new.
They say you learn something new
Good.
every day.
I didn't know. I really did not know that. He was talking about the Shunammite woman.
Mm-hmm. So he would go to her country. So he would leave the palace
To go to
frequently
frequently
to go see her.
See her.
He the
Yeah.
king.
That's the king. Yeah.
He don't got up off his throne.
They came to see me.
And
Oh, I'm gonna tell
he
you
don't
my own story.
he don't put his stuff to the side
To go and see her.
to go see her. He found a reason, made up excuses just to go to her country,
What you say?
just to go visit.
Things in perspective.
Yep,
Yes, it does.
right there. Let me put this pen right. The word says, "He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain the favor of the Lord." He that findeth, not she that findeth. So therefore, it also says that he pursued her. So it ain't for us to go pursue the men. Let him pursue you, and then you know if that's him. Now,
Yes.
mm-hmm. So it also says,
I have a question.
yes, ma'am.
Now it says at the end of it, obtains favor. Am I his favor?
You his favor.
Go ahead. I just want to double check.
You favor.
So when he find me, everything around him should become favor.
Right.
Favor.
Right. Because remember, um, last week when Pastor was teaching, and he was talking about unity, and he was talking about that
How
one
long
real.
last week?
Twine.
You was on campus now, don't play.
No longer twine.
Do not make me call her out.
Okay, continue.
But he was talking about when the man finds his woman, that he finds that missing rib. You understand that men have 13 ribs.
Mm.
Something new
I
today.
didn't know that.
They have
Girl, you
13.
are wise.
I didn't know that either.
We are the 14th rib.
Mm.
That makes him.
What does 14 mean?
Let the Holy Ghost tell. Hold on. He ain't told me yet. She be trying to do some stuff.
He ain't showed
just
you yet,
asking
or you not there yet? He ain't showed you, or you not
Somebody
there
call
yet?
Pastor that. Pastor, what does the number 14 mean?
1 and 4,
Oh.
which is grace.
Oh.
All 14 by itself, I look it up.
Yeah.
But I know 1 and 4 is grace, which is 1, you know.
Equals 5. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You have something you want to comment on that? You good on that?
I'm good. I'm learning.
Y'all a mess. So, anyways, okay, and it also says that exhortation in Solomon 2 and 7. Mm-hmm. It says, well, actually, I'm just going to read Solomon 2, 4 through 7. And he says, actually, what she's doing right here is she's talking to the daughters of Jerusalem. And she's talking about, basically, she's talking about her date that she had with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she said he brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Sustain me with cakes of raisin, refresh me with apples, for I am love sick. He fed her.
I like cake.
His left hand was under my head, and his right hand embraces me. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles and by the dozens of the field, of the doves of the field, do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases. Which means that if you're not ready for him and you don't want him, don't lead him on. Don't open up a door that you ain't ready to walk in. Don't step into this man's heart and then you're not ready to be what he is, what he needs. If you already know that that's not your heart and that's not your intent, don't play with him because you holding up his blessing, you holding up his favor. He's got some things before God, and there's some things that he desired. But if you're not ready for it, and you're not ready to sustain yourself and be holy before God, don't do it.
That's true. Wow. That is so true.
Okay. 14. The number 14 means deliverance and salvation.
So when you come into his life, you bring
Deliverance and salvation. So deliverance means he's being delivered from the old man. He's being delivered from what we call the foolishness, because he should be sitting it aside. He should be putting it up. He should be through running the streets. He should be through running the streets, hollering about, I'm gonna try this one, I'm gonna try this chocolate cake over here, I'm gonna try this Hershey's over here, I'm gonna try this Mr. Good Boy over here. You should be through with that. You should be through with that, and you should be delivered. So then you can walk out your soul salvation, so y'all can walk together, so you can be saved and you can be whole. Again, if you have any questions, if you feel free to call us, the number is 281-272-1699. And if you have a prayer request, you can also call that number. We have someone standing by to answer your call. The number again is 281-272-1699.
It's the audience. It's the audience.
Pray for us. So, I want to break down Solomon. Y'all have any more questions y'all want to ask about that?
Go ahead. Go ahead. You teach me more perfectly.
What I discovered today is, okay, Solomon, we know that Solomon is the son of David, which he's also the third king of Israel. I need y'all to remember that. And he was the richest king to ever rule over Israel. That part right there, let's break that down. First of all, he's the king, he's the son of David. We know that in the word that says that David is a man after God's own heart. So therefore, Solomon had some teaching.
Yes, he did.
So women, when you want to know what your husband gonna be like, check out his father.
Yes, I like that.
See who his father is, and then it can tell you if he's gonna be the man that God has called for you to be, for him to be, and to be over you, and to cover you, and to protect you, and be.
And do he know his father?
Do he have a relationship with his father?
And I ain't talking about the natural either.
Okay.
That's good.
So you have to check out his roots and see where he came from. Check out his teachings. So then he was the third king. What's the number 3 mean, Tina?
I have no clue.
Trinity. It is the Trinity.
It is the Trinity, which we call the divine Trinity. So he falls in line as the third king. So meaning that his father's father is in line. So even though David's father may not have been king, but David was king, which David made the second king, which David is a man after God's own heart, right? So that means that David had lined up with God. So therefore, when Solomon came in, the anointing flowed down to the third king, and the blessings was upon him. So then it says that he was the richest king that ever ruled over Israel. So you got the richest king leaving his place of comfort and everything that he wanted and desired in his palace to go out into another country to find his real. In the country. Over the hillside.
There in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in his palace was there.
But his real.
But his real. But y'all, I thought about this too when I was driving over.
And even though he had, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
all the riches and all that, and everything, it was still something missing.
And think about it. He the king.
His favor.
His favor went there. His favor went in the palace. But you got all these concubines. You got all these maid servants. You got everybody around in the palace running around trying to prepare themselves to please him and to show themselves worthy of him. And he's saying, can't find it, that ain't it, So women, right. So while you sitting up here dressing in your $300 suit and your $200 shoes trying to sashay in front of the bishop, that ain't it.
Oh, okay.
That ain't it.
That's not it.
I'm gonna need you to
Hold on, let me pick my face.
She said
That
bishop.
time went down.
She passed up the pastor.
Yeah, she went over the
Yes,
path.
passed
to
up
the
the pastor.
bishop.
Because you see them so much, just session, baby.
Go ahead and
It
say
don't
it.
work.
Go ahead and say it.
No,
Get
don't
you a
say
good seat.
Yes.
and let the Lord send it.
Did she say get a good seat?
Get you a good one.
Good one.
Okay.
A good one.
Sit down somewhere.
See,
And a
That's what
laptop.
she's saying.
and let somebody impart into you so that you can learn how to be a woman. Because first of all, if you feel like you got to do that to show yourself off, there's something missing in you. You need to find you. You got to love you before God can allow some man to come and love you. Because if he send his whom he has chosen for you, and you haven't got to the point where you love you and you are comfortable with who you are, you're only going to destroy him. And he's not, God is not going to allow that. So therefore, a lot of us is wondering, why aren't we married? Why aren't we in a relationship? Because we got to look at us. Are we really ready to be in this relationship? Are we really prepared for what God has for us? So until we start seeking God, and because the word says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will be added. If we lose ourselves in him, then him that he has for us, he'll send him in him.
Yes.
I was thinking too. I think Pastor had said this some time back, but I remember him saying too that the rib cage was to protect
Mm-hmm.
the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times I think as women or men or whatever, we get into these relationships and we're really not healed from past stuff. So instead of protecting the heart, we end
Right.
up causing harm
Harm.
to it
Mm-hmm.
because really we're not over things and then yet we don't really love or really know who we are.
Right.
We really don't. And so we go into relationships trying to make this person show me who I am or tell me who I am or make me who I am, and they can't do that.
Right.
Because
You have false expectations of them and what they're really there for.
Right.
And what I seen when you said that, well, the rib is supposed to go sideways.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't know which way you're supposed to go, you gonna go straight up. So you sit here punching holes into the heart instead of covering the heart.
You got a minister.
I'm just
You
saying.
just help somebody.
Yes, you do.
So you just have to know your position and know what it is that you're supposed to be doing. You're there to be a helpmate, not a hindrance, not a hurt. And like we were talking Sunday, and the quote came out that hurt people hurt people. If you're hurt, then you're just gonna automatically hurt someone else. Sometimes we do it unknowingly because we think that we're over something. We think that we've been delivered from it. But until we are faced with that situation again, we really don't know if we really delivered from it again or not. We really don't know if we're over it or not. Okay, again tonight we are talking about biblical romance, and we're coming from the Song of Solomon. So we're really just talking about the whole book, and we're just free flowing from that. Right now, we just got through reading Second Solomon, um, Solomon 2. I don't gave Solomon another book. Solomon 2, 4 through 7. And as she was saying that she kept herself, she cherished herself, and she kept herself until marriage. She didn't defile her body. She remained pure until marriage. So my question is it really that hard to stay pure before marriage?
I don't think so much that it's hard because I think really anything you put your mind to, you can do. But I think the world just offers so much. They just make it look so wonderful
Mm-hmm.
that people just walk right into it with their eyes open. A lot of times we know what we're walking into.
Mm-hmm.
We know that that's not the one. We know we know who God, or what God has told us to do. We know God's voice. We know the book of the Bible. We've been raised in the Word, but we walk into it anyway because the temptation, I think, is so great. And then it's like a mirage. You know, you look at something from a distance, you're like, ooh, 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 and then when you get it, you're like, ooh. That wasn't it. But you already there.
Okay.
I think that it's hard once you're, I can say it like this. If you both have a goal in mind, you and the person that you're in a relationship with, and you both sit down and talk about things and you pray together and you keep God first, it'll be simple. It'll be some times where it's kind of tough, but I mean through prayer, and you talking about it, it'll work out for you until you get to marriage because it leaves something. Sure.
I have a question.
Bless your heart.
Walking it out. Walking it out.
That was a good answer. That was a good biblical answer.
You're walking it out.
She walking out. She living it. So
It's
But
a
I
living testimony right now.
I've heard.
Wonderful.
This is my question. This is my question. Do you believe in long engagements? What's your thought? You guys thought on long engagements?
How long?
okay, what is long?
Yeah, what's long? What's your definition of long?
I'm gonna say a year and a half engagements.
I think a year is not long. And the reason why I say I don't think a year is long, because it just depends on that person how long it takes for them to plan.
Mm-hmm.
What I see is I'm gonna need at least, for me, at least 9 months of planning to get it just the way to work out the kinks. So I don't think a year is long. I think when you go into the 2 years, 3 years engaged, that's too long. That's a problem right there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because somewhere along the line you're lying.
Uh-huh.
Because the truth of the matter is, either you really are engaged,
Mm-hmm.
or it's a camouflage. You trying to cover something up.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't sound bad when you say we're together. We're gonna say we're engaged,
Right.
because it's a little bit more pleasing to the ear. It's a little bit more softer to the ear than to say I'm shacking up with him.
Oh.
You know, so a lot of people throw that out. You know, we're engaged, and so you're looking like, okay, so when is the invitations coming? You know, and then you ask this question: what's the date? Oh, we don't have one yet. You gotta check yourself, because why do we do it? Why do we make up these stories and say I'm engaged, knowing good and well you're not engaged?
Well, because I think it sounds acceptable.
Right.
I think it sounds acceptable to say I'm engaged and say, oh, this is my man, I'm sleeping with him, we live together. Who
Right.
gon' I ain't trying to be funny.
Right.
Us holy go to church every Sunday. People are gonna look at, hmm? You know what I'm saying? We ain't supposed to judge, but we're like, girl, did you hear what she said?
I know she didn't just say that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just more acceptable to say I'm engaged.
Yes.
But I was just wondering about that because we had a conversation at work. And we were talking about long engagements, and somebody was saying, they've been engaged 3-4 years, something to that. And I'm looking like,
What's the holdup?
that ain't the line.
What's the holdup?
There's a problem.
You know,
There is a
I ain't trying to
problem.
be funny. We already trying to sustain ourselves, and then we gonna go through this long. I mean, why are we doing that to
That's
ourselves?
too long.
Then that's when temptation do come, and we do walk
Exactly.
into it.
Yeah, because
You
I
walk
mean,
right into
did you
it.
just say that you engaged so that you could, test out the waters? I mean,
Wrong with you?
I'm just saying.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
First of all,
It happens.
these two already know. They gonna get it. It is what it is. So ain't nothing new about what I say and how I say it. It's just clean. That's as clean as it's gonna get. So I mean, it is, because why do we do? I mean, because a lot of times, like she said, it's just for perception and she wants to be accepted. But the thing of it but you're deceiving yourself. And so what you think that you might be getting over on man, you're not getting over on God.
But is
Because he knows
if
the
he
truth.
proposed,
Did he really propose? And then if he did propose, and you did say yes, even though the Shulamite woman, she did say that he proposed, and she took a minute to consider it, and then she said yes. But I'm sure she didn't take 2 years to consider it before she said yes.
And if she did, she probably was still living with her mama the whole time.
The whole time.
So I have a question. So when he proposes,
Mm-hmm.
is it okay to take a day before you say yes?
To take a day of what?
To say yes, or do you have to say yes at that very moment that he?
No.
the pressure. The pressure.
I'm just asking because
Get off your
most
knee. I'm gonna
people-
think about it for a day.
But see, you know what?
Give me a week to think about that.
Truthfully, what I found is that most people have already had the conversation
Okay.
prior to the proposal. He don't already sat here and said, some way, shape, form, or fashion. He might have didn't come directly out to you and say it, but somewhere around the lines he said, "Oh, well, what if I presented you with this? What would you say?" So he don't already kind of prepared you. Or he said, okay, well, how do you feel about marriage? Do you want to get married? What's your thoughts about it? So the conversation has already taken place, and then you can see the process if you're going toward that. You can tell because I was thinking yesterday. No, I ain't gonna tell a lie. That was this morning. I said, anytime you have to, because me and God talk as I drive. And I talk to him like I'm talking to these two right here. So I said, God, anytime you gotta ask somebody if you're in a relationship, 9 times out of 10, you're not in a relationship. And if you are in that relationship, you're in that relationship by yourself.
Just me, myself, and I.
Okay? So you got to stop and think, has the conversation transpired? Because first of all, if you got to ask, am I in this relationship? That means he ain't asked you to be in a relationship with him. He ain't showing you that he want to be in a relationship with you. He ain't pursuing you. He's not putting his pursuit is him calling when he wants something, when he want to take you out, or when he want to spend a little time, but it's always something behind it. It's never just to say hi, how you doing.
No, it's always at your house.
It
never in public.
Okay, always behind closed doors, and then he can never talk to you.
Call me on my phone.
Right,
Call me at work.
Right.
Yeah.
Call me after 10.
Yeah.
Call me at work.
Yeah, and
There's
you.
some signs right there.
There's some signs. Notice the
If I don't
signs.
answer my cell phone, call me back again in about 2 minutes, and then I'll answer it then.
Okay.
That's some signs.
You gotta know
I
the
go to the
signs.
restroom.
Yeah. You gotta know the
That's when the
signs.
intuition should kick in.
Yes, and then he can't call you till after 11 o'clock, or y'all can't get together after 11. Who? What kind of relationship is
Gotta go to
that?
work the next
You
morning.
know? No, I'm not gonna tell y'all what my mama used to say when I was growing up, but
I know
y'all
what
can.
yours is. Mine said the same thing.
And I used to try to convince her that that wasn't true. Denny's and IHOP was open too.
No, I know that's right. I know the song you finna say. Ain't nothing no
Like, that's 12.
I'ma
say it.
But Dennis was open and IHOP was too, and Doc's too, cause Doc's is good, Mama. I tried to tell her, but yes.
I want to go back to when we were talking about covering, and in the story of Ruth,
Yes, ma'am.
there was I don't remember exactly the whole story, but I know somewhere up in there, I think he was drunk.
And Ruth?
Yeah, and I think he had passed out or something. I think she asked Naomi. I'm revising. Don't quote me. But I think she had asked Naomi what should she do, and I think Naomi told her to lay at his feet and cover him, so that the people who are walking by won't see him. Something to that fact. But I was thinking that nowadays with Facebook, am I wrong?
I'm thinking it's
Was it Ruth?
I'm thinking Noah and his sons. He got drunk, and his son had to come in.
Go to Ruth. Oh,
But
she
Ruth
going. She
didn't-
going.
I'm
She
sorry, yeah, I'm
going.
looking.
But is it Ruth?
She been studying Ruth all day.
Oh,
That's why I looked at her.
Oh, is it?
Was it in
chapter
Ruth?
2?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm working my way through. That's
But I was thinking nowadays
I'm finna check.
with Facebook and all this stuff, and it's so easy to throw our relationships and our dirty laundry out that we don't know how to cover one another anymore. I remember, like my grandmother them back in the day, you would never know
What was going on in their
what was going
household.
on in their
Oh,
household.
goodness.
Even if the kids was sitting there and saw pots flying
You better not
across the
say
front,
that.
they know what happened in his house.
Stays in his house.
Stays in his house. But nowadays we so quick to put on, oh, he done made me mad. Oh, he done, you know what I mean? Whatever.
It's Ruth 3
And we've
and
lost.
7.
It's 3 and 7. We've lost the covering aspect. I think as I ain't gonna even just say as women, but as couples or relationships, we've lost that secretness, that
Right.
behind the door. It's just my thought.
Mhm.
I just
Loyalty.
The
Because it
mystery.
said,
and probably the unity. We do
Mhm.
just
right, because it says that a lasting marriage requires dedication, commitment, a strong loyalty between husband and wife. But even if you're not husband and wife, if you're dating, you still have to have that strong loyalty. Because first of all, while you're dating, it's really a test.
Yes, it is.
You're testing one another to see.
Courtship.
Yeah, it's the courtship. You're testing to see if you're able to handle me, are you able to cover me, are you able to
Right.
provide for me,
Right.
are you able to step up, so you know what you're getting into beforehand. So I'm sorry. No, let me correct that, because I ain't gonna lie and say I'm sorry, because I ain't sorry. But if I'm in a relationship and I'm dating you, and every time we have a conversation, it's all over the city, and somebody calling me, something's wrong with that. Anytime you feel like you need to go and you need to discuss something I've said to you with your coworkers and run across them to see how they feel about it, and then you're gonna come back and have a discussion with me about based upon what they said, I got a problem with that.
Right.
Because you out of order. How would you feel if I did it? I would be out of order. So you have to know how to be loyal one to another. And if you have an issue with it, then pray about it. Ask God how He wants you to talk about it, how He wants you to discuss it, how He wants you to handle it. And sometimes you just have to leave it at His feet and He'll deal with it.
If you don't want nobody trying your food, don't give them the recipe.
I'm trying to tell you.
That's
Like
good,
that
leading
one.
lady.
Yeah.
That's going to be my face.
Why
Facebook.
y'all don't know none of my, that's why y'all don't know my recipe.
But you know what I was thinking, because we were talking about Gomer and what was her husband's name?
I remember Hosea.
Hosea on our women's conference line last night. But I was thinking too, once we got off the phone, think about if Hosea would have went and told everybody, "Oh man, this boy, my wife, and went out here again.
My wife a hoe.
Oh, my wife, oh, she just can't. Every time I turn around, she got to hide.
Okay?
Then she got pregnant.
And I gotta go buy
I gotta
her
take
back.
care of this baby. I gotta go buy milk for some other man. The things like that. But he never did that. He just kept going to God. Okay, you gave me this woman. What you want me to do?
Now, Lord.
Right, right.
I'm
But
going to need you to do
was
something
just
before I do
thinking,
it.
he covered that woman.
Yes.
Whether we like what she did or not, he covered that woman, and he covered it with love. Cause I don't care how many times he went out there and got her, he brought her back. And then when he brought her out, he didn't call her out her name.
Okay?
He was respectful.
Yeah. Footnote. Learn how to talk to her.
Yes.
Learn
Watch how you handle me.
Watch how you handle it.
Oh, my.
Because if you don't, the Lord will show you.
Okay.
And He might not be so forgiving.
My father don't like some
Sometimes.
people mistreat me.
Okay?
Because, we're precious.
So,
Just some biblical romance
man, stories.
stories I was
Romance.
thinking about that I liked.
So I want to ask this question. Since we always talk about soul ties, can you develop a soul tie with someone without being intimate with them?
Because intimacy means more than sex.
True.
It goes deeper.
It goes deeper.
There's a spiritual connection.
Mm-hmm.
That soul tie. Personalities. I mean, it's just different things. Secrets. Yeah.
So in other words, you're telling me that you don't have to sleep with him to get the feeling of him, to get to know
No.
how he feels.
No.
So
Nah, you can feel on them without. Huh?
y'all a mess.
That wasn't us.
I'm gonna read this. And the answer to the question is yes. And according to Song of Solomon 3, I'm just gonna read one little piece that she wrote. And it said, "By night on my bed, I sought the one I loved. I sought him, but I did not find him. I will rise now," I said, "and go about the city, in the streets and in the squares. I will seek the one I love. I sought him, but I did not find him. The watchmen who go about the city found me. I said, 'Have you seen the one I love?' Scarcely I passed by them. When I found the one I loved, I held him and would not let him go, until I had brought him to the house of my mother and into the chambers of her who conceived me. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles and by the does, other doves of the field, Do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases. So she felt him. She felt his pain. She felt his trouble. She felt that he was in harm's way. So she went out, and it says she went out in the night to go and get him, to seek after him. And at first she couldn't find him, but she kept looking till she found him. She persistently went till she found him. And then when she found him, she didn't take him before everybody else and drag him out. She said, I held him and would not let him go. So she loved on him. She caressed him. She let him know, I understand you may be hurt. I understand that you may be going through, you may be in pain, but I'm here for you. I got you. Oh my. And then she took him into the chambers of her mother. So she took him into her mother's chambers, into her safe haven. So I care that much for you that I'm gonna take you out of danger. But not only am I gonna take you out of danger, but I'm not gonna go hide you. I'm gonna take you to my safe haven. So I know that I can watch over you and make sure that you're okay, and I can protect you. That's the
And then
cover.
she
That
said
cover.
gazelles and does. And those are typically delicate animals. So
Right.
she wasn't all aggressive.
Right.
Come on, we'll look.
She did it in love.
She did it in love.
She did it in love.
Those are graceful animals. They're very.
Yeah.
She maybe was like Beyonce and dance. I was just saying. She did a little praise thing.
She knows.
She ushered him into the
She
safe haven.
knows. She knows. She knows. She knows.
Praise dance. That's right.
Boy, come on.
Come on,
Press a little bit.
Okay, y'all. So tonight, since we were talking about biblical romance, and we were talking about the poetic part of it and talking about the poems of it, I have a special surprise for all of you.
What is it? Look at me.
What is
Straight
it?
up, what is it?
She didn't tell the producer or nothing.
Our very own Rotasha is going to do a poem that she wrote.
I thought Benji was going to sing again.
She's
She gonna sneak in.
We had love songs last week, so we're gonna have poetry this week.
Ooh, let me move over then.
A nice little song.
Playing in the background.
Please don't knock over the
Mel,
the
don't call
vase.
me out on Don't call me out on YouTube. Don't do it.
I was shocked as well.
My bad.
Yes, I was. I was.
She good for shocking.
I know.
I did ask. It dropped in my.
Something nice and
So while we're preparing, our producer is gonna give us
she
some.
would tell me a hit sound.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
This was nice.
So did y'all have any more questions before
I think I asked all my questions.
I learned a few things.
So I can walk away with some stuff.
Yes, I can apply some more things. I've noticed some things that are being applied, and I can apply some more. So it's just great, and I can share.
Yeah.
Yes.
So wonderful.
Always share with your friends.
Something to have a three-way conference.
Yes.
Real soon.
Share with your
About this.
coworkers. Tell them not to come in and talk about it. Tell them to pray about it.
Right.
Find Jesus and then pray about it.
And cover.
Yes, cover.
That's the
Yes,
key word we need to
'cause
walk
you know
away
what?
with. Cover.
You can't expose everything. You can't tell everything that's going on in your bedroom and
Right.
everything that's going on in your house, because then you wonder why people start knocking at your door unannounced.
Yes.
Well, like she said, testing out your recipe.
Okay?
Keep
You
your
can't be
recipe
giving
to
out
yourself.
all your secrets. You
Because
can't
they
be
cake
telling
won't
them.
rise.
Okay?
That was for me. Who's probably watching? Don't call me or Facebook me. I'm on air.
Well, the name of this poem, since we're talking about biblical romance and how the world had me a long time ago, long time ago. So here it goes. I am the change. There's a change going on inside of me, transforming this girl into a lady pure and free, purging me from the past of hurt, pain, and sorrow to unconditional love with the hope for tomorrow. I've been healed by his word, transformed in this world, understanding my destiny as Jesus' cultured pearl. That's what's up, friends.
Ooh, that was nice. Got
Real pearl ladies.
that.
So, being this we are changed now, and we are culturing our pearls, and we are preserving our pearls for our King,
Yes.
and
Yes.
keeping them sacred.
Sacred.
Because we want to be the bride.
Covered.
Yes, and
Covered.
covered.
Yes.
And covered. So with that being said, we would like to say thank you for joining us tonight. We thank y'all for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, or anything that you would like to share with us, please feel free to email us here at the walk at restorationofpraise.org, or you can call us on the line. The number is 281-272-1699. If you have a prayer request, please feel free to call us and leave your message. We will definitely get back in contact with you. And even if we don't call you immediately, just know that we are praying for you and praying with you. This weekend, we have the prayer conference in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where our very own pastor, Pastor Robert A. Bailey, will be ministering Friday night and Saturday. If you would like to join us, please feel free to check us out the website on restorationofpraise.org. The flyer is there. Also on Facebook at Restoration of Praise Fellowship. Also, if you are friends with Pastor Bailey, it is on his Facebook page as well, and probably any other member of the Restoration of Praise Fellowship. So, also, we also want to invite you out to Sunday morning service where we are going black and back.
Black
in
in
back.
time.
Oh, black in
Black in
time.
time.
Black in time.
And back and black and
Black and back. How we
Okay.
go back to black?
I don't know.
I never left.
How did we leave? When did we leave? We didn't leave. We didn't leave. So we're going black in time. During our 9 o'clock morning worship service, you are more than welcome to come and join us. The address is 16720
740.
740 Hedge Cross Suite 402, Houston, Texas.
Oh, we're having some tea on Thursday.
Oh, also, it is tea time. We are back at tea time for Thursday night biblical studies. Join us here at on the website at Restored Vision. Also, we have the conference line. You can call in and listen on the conference call. But if you're in the area, please feel free to come and join us during Bible study during for Thursday night. It does start at 7:30, and we will be talking about humility this week.
Right.
That would be the tea of the hour. So yeah, gotta get a little humbleness. Yeah, so we gotta be humble. So if you're a little tight and don't know how to be humble, we would like to bless you. So with some tea, come and have tea. Tea time. Tea time starts at 7:30 on on Thursday. And once again, thank y'all for joining us. And we are here at the Walk where we worship and live kingdom. See you next time.
Have fun.